The polls here are about to close for the 2020 general election. Not only are presidential candidates on the ballot, but state and local candidates as well. 100 different countries are represented here at the U of A. Typically, over 1,400 international students enroll each year. However, this semester, that number has dropped by 14%. Thanks, Jack. I'm live here with Sam Duncan, the Republican incumbent for District 7 of the Washington Quorum Court. Now, Sam, can you tell me a little bit about how you're feeling tonight? I'm standing outside the Pat Walker Health Center where I picked up one of these mental health kits this morning. These kits include things such as a journal, snacks, and information about mental health resources here on campus. A university program allows students to compete in national competitions. Find out how they raised funds for this unique program coming up. UATV starts now. That's right, Tristan. International Education Week celebrates the University of Arkansas's international students. But not only are this year's celebrations mostly virtual, but so are almost all of the interactions international students have here at the university every day. Students from different countries typically come to the University of Arkansas to have an American college experience. Francia Ravenlambola is an international student from Madagascar, currently getting her PhD in environmental science.
Most of the time, I will get help from undergrads or hourly at the station that I'm working for my research, but now I have to do everything by myself.
She says she had never taken an online class before the pandemic, but now it has become the new normal for her.
I think when they switched to online classes, it seems to me that I have to do a lot of work than before, and it was really hard for me.
And Francia isn't alone. Over 100 different countries are represented here at the U of A. Typically, over 1,400 international students enroll each year. However, this semester, that number has dropped by 14%. The assistant director for the International Student Outreach on campus says the university is working to increase enrollment in the coming semesters.
The University of Arkansas has been very creative and just trying to find ways for students to still, come here and be students while, making sure that we follow all the rules and regulations.
The Office for International Students and Scholars provides in-person and virtual programs for international students to interact with American students.
When you are asking people and when you get connected through Zoom or through Skype, they are very supportive.
Smith says the best way students can connect with each other is to set times to meet up while still keeping in mind COVID protocols. Reporting live for UATV, I'm Esther Gowin. That's right, Riley. I'm standing here outside a local restaurant, Ham and Trees, where protocols such as sanitizing surfaces and social distancing are put in place to help stop the spread of COVID-19. But these protocols are only recommendations given by the CDC, and there's no conclusive evidence to whether these protocols are actually working. A research grant for the U of A's Division of Agriculture is working to successfully disinfect surfaces, specifically in food service establishments. I spoke to Kristen Gibson, the lead investigator of this research, and she says if they can find proven ways to stop the spread of COVID, this could help restaurants become safer.
This is one thing that we may be able to contribute to allow the consumers to say, hey, this establishment is applying validated strategies and I feel comfortable going there and dining in based on this.
The research is just getting started and is a 2-year-long project. Figuring out how long the virus can survive on surfaces and how easily it can be transferred to people's hands, nose, and mouth are questions that Gibson's team is working to answer. Reporting live for UATV, I'm Esther Gowin. Thanks, Tristan. The polls here are about to close for the 2020 general election. Not only are presidential candidates on the ballot, but state and local candidates as well. Now, all of the elected members will have an impact on issues that affect college students here, and one of those issues is college debt. Hundreds of students at the University of Arkansas face debt during their time in college. According to the university's Common Data Set, undergraduate students are estimated to take out $45 million in loans for the 2019-2020 school year. One student says she has managed not to take out loans for her undergraduate, but is now faced with student debt as she prepares for law school.
I've never done that before. I am very overwhelmed by the process and worried about what the future could hold in terms of accumulating debt over those 3 years.
President Trump does not have a specific plan to relieve student debt, and former Vice President Joe Biden has promised to forgive up to $10,000 of student loans. Political science professor Karen Siebold says regardless of what candidates say, voters should look at their policies.
It's difficult to really get at what are they going to prioritize? Who are they going to focus on? And so you have to go past what they're telling you and think about the parties that they represent.
An associate researcher for economics says disagreement about this policy comes from figuring out where these funds should be allocated from.
You can have too much of a good thing. I mean, that's just basic economics. Marginal benefits of doing something good decline as you keep on doing more and more of it. And marginal costs go up because you're giving up something else.
Professor Siebold says the best way to ensure action is taken on this issue is to hold your local representatives accountable. Reporting live for UATV, I'm Esther Gowin. Thanks, Danielle. I'm standing here outside City Hall where council members gather to propose bills and to help the mayor pass legislation for the city of Fayetteville. Now, last week, 4 candidates tried out for one seat in Ward 1 for the Fayetteville City Council, but none of them received the majority votes. Now, the top 2 candidates will go to a runoff election in December. I spoke to both of the candidates, and they both said that if they're elected, they will work towards improving living conditions for Fayetteville residents.
The whole platform's called A Healthy Ward 1, and there's 4 pillars of that: affordable housing, equality, healthy neighborhoods, and economic development. And so I really feel like those are the 4 most important issues for the ward.
Every concern that you have, that challenge and concern will be placed before the city council. And I'm going to do everything that I can to make sure that we get results that will improve the quality of life for everyone.
Both Jones and Pettigrew say that they will spend the next couple weeks reaching out to voters and campaigning for the upcoming election. Reporting live for UATV, I'm Esther Gowin. Thanks, Tristan. I'm standing here outside the U of A's Equine Pavilion, where students come to take care of their horses and train for competitions. There's 3 competitive teams here at the U of A: the livestock judging team, the equine judging team, and the ranch horse team. Now, the ranch horse team competes in 4 events: trail riding, pleasure riding, reining, and a cow horse event. The ranch horse team at the University of Arkansas allows students to compete in events that show the ability of their working horse. Students preparing for ranch horse competitions practice 2 to 5 times a week. One student says being on the team can be a challenge to balance with college classes.
Being on the team during college can be kind of difficult because you've got a lot to juggle, especially coming in as like a freshman and sophomore. Those years, you're in a lot of classes. You're still getting used to what college is like.
Jordan Shore, a ranch horse team and equine judging coach, says their program helps students develop valuable skills in communication and teamwork.
There's a lot of experiences you gain from working with each other, and that's not just in the arena and at shows, but also, the day-to-day feeding and cleaning.
Due to the current pandemic, this year's competitions must follow COVID protocols. Shore says the university's fundraiser for their programs will allow them to continue preparing safely for upcoming competitions.
It just shows how much love and support there are for these students in traveling. So that was pretty cool to see that, and all the people that were wanting to see us continue this program.
The Animal Science fundraiser ended yesterday, and the ranch horse team raised over $20,000 above their goal. Reporting live for UATV, I'm Esther Gowin.